Hey, good morning, Patrick. This is a demo video for you for your Raxus Starkiller. Installed with the Taco Shop chassis, you had Sean over at SP Sabers weather this first, and then it just came to me yesterday. I had the chassis pre-installed like I try to do sometimes when I know these are coming. So it took me, just a little bit of time to get this all running for you. This is a 2-button setup, so as you can see up here on your control box, you've got 2 very low profile brass tactile switches. The upper one is going to be your power, and the back one over here is going to be your auxiliary. All right, I did go ahead and swap out this button head screw up here. It's a M10, I believe. I'm not sure what size it is actually. It's not an M10, that's huge, but I did swap that out, so that would be your blade retention. As you can see, if you in that emitter, the front one is just a little bit longer. That's what we use for the blade retention. All right. Sean does a really cool thing with these LED or these lenses right here. He hits them with a little bit of heat, as you can see on this one right here, and it shines them up a little bit, and you do get some shine through there too. So let me screw that back on tight. These come out if you like, and you can swap them out with the red ones that are in your kit, or you have some clear ones as well. All right. So Sean did all the heat staining here on the steel piece, and of course did all the weathering on the aluminum pieces. He heat stained all of your button head screws, heat stained your titanium rods. Your lower crystal holder is titanium, as well as this piece up here, and the rod that's coming down. So that's all been heat stained. And then you have the brass Taco Shop chamber add-on right behind your crystal. That's a real quartz crystal there. All right. This piece right here, of course, slides down. It's on magnets, so it can expose your secondary crystal chamber and your spinning piece that I'll show you here in a second. But when you don't want to see that, you can slide that right back into place, and it does stay there. All right. To get to your chassis, you just want to unscrew the handle. Take note, at the very end of the chassis is pretty tight fit. All right, so what you want to do is, as you're sliding this down, if you feel that it gets tight on you, just come over here and squeeze the chassis down. Squeeze it with your hand right here, and it'll come off right there. All right, it's just a little bit tight right here. I did go through and open it up with my lathe, and it helped because the handle wouldn't go on at all before, but just take note of that. All right, and then when you get that off, this is your chassis right here. So you've got an OLED screen, you've got your board cover. Your board cover is on magnets, so you can just pop this off. Let me do it over my desk. Pop that off to expose your Proffie board. I do have a 4-pixel accent strip located right there on top of your board, and then I just put a little bit of some electrical tape over the solder joints of that strip so it didn't ground out. But you can get to your SD card and your micro USB from right there. All right. You'll probably want to make some changes. You typically do. Let me know if you need some help. There's a copy of the config file that I made for this on the SD card, so you shouldn't have any problems there. All right. Flipping it over here, you've got your secondary crystal chamber. So this is a resin printed crystal that's in there, and then the spinning chamber piece right above it. You've got this open space right here that I just made in a broken circuitry effect. And then this is your battery cover. So again, we'll take this off over my desk so I don't send it flying. But it is also on magnets, and you have an 18350 battery there. So that battery is very tight, but you can take it out with a pair of tweezers or something. Just work each side a little bit until you pop it out. But just be aware that's a tight fit in there. All right. And then that pops back on. You've got a kill switch located right here. All right, and then lastly, a fully enclosed 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. So let's flip this kill switch. You've got my OLED boot up for now. Okay, flipping it over here, you've got your 2 crystals. They're each doing a little something different until we come over here and hit power. Now you've got that broken circuitry over here, and then you've got that spinning piece right over here. You got that LED animation right there up on top of the board. And of course, that is your battery meter for now. And we can twist it off and put the handle on. The sound is a lot different when you get this handle on. It shoots right out the back. All right. We'll put that on, just screw it down. Lock it down all the way tight. This is the pommel. You can see your speaker right there. I made this wide open on purpose just so the sound shoots directly out of the sky. So again, hit power. Now this thing is pretty screaming. Some nice shine through right here. On this eye as well as this one over here. You actually have a stock B4 in this particular one because that's what I had. So twist on, slide this down, get your secondary chamber visual. Slide this back into place and twist off. All right, so we'll back up that button head screw out of the blade socket. This is set up for a 7/8 inch blade. Careful when putting the blade in. When you feel it bounce on those pins, lock your blade down. Don't go jamming the blade in there. You know, just take your time, put it in, and you feel them stop. Lights up a blade very well. Auxiliary. Blade lockup is holding the auxiliary button down and hitting the saber. You see it right here. And it goes to the tip of the blade. And then to play your soundtracks, a long press on the power. Alright, another long press to turn it off. This just has my sound font on it for now, but of course if you had multiple, you just hit auxiliary. Okay, so we'll break it back down. Loosen up that button head. Slide our blade out. I'm going to back this back into the blade socket. Come over here and take our handle off. Remember, when you get to about right here, just kind of hold it like this, squeeze it, pop it right off. All right, we'll turn this on. And then come over here and flip our kill switch. And it kills everything. All right, so that is basically your Raxus. I appreciate you picking one of these up. And along with the Taco chassis, I know this is an expensive venture. This was made originally to be a pretty affordable Starkiller kit for anybody who wanted one. It's meant to kind of emulate the 2.0 kit, but it has, you know, obviously some of my own differences in it. But when you start getting into all of the options that you can get for this guy, which you pretty much got all of them, it can be an expensive venture. So I do appreciate you picking this up. Let me know if you have any questions, and like you and I had talked about, I will hang on to this until you're home from vacation, and then I'll send it out to you. All right, thanks, Patrick.